Good rising. Please tap your screen to let people know that we're about to have a session. Good rising, great awakenings. For those of you on YouTube, please let me know how the audio is. I've been having trouble with it. If this audio sounds robotic, I will post the TikTok replay. So if you can let me know, that would be great. Okay, we're just going to wait a minute to see if anyone else tunes in. I meant to start earlier, but I lay down to take a quick nap and woke up 7 hours later. So we're on here now. Thank you for tuning in. I guess there's lots of people up late or early, depending on which calendar you use. We are here this evening because it is the night that the moon appeared within the sacred hoop. Let me see if I can do that. I should have done it earlier. Well, the sacred hoop is an arrangement of constellations that I learned about from the Lakota people. And it consists of Gemini, the Great Dogs, or Sirius, and Orion. And it makes like a diamond or an oval shape. And I had been doing these music presentations along with different Egyptian calendars, but I didn't feel connected to it. So I had this download where I do the music offerings when a planet or the moon is in the sacred hoop. And then I will do a wellness conversation when the moon or planets or the sun is in Ophiuchus. So last night and tonight, the moon was in the sacred hoop. And if you got to see the moon earlier, it's a half moon or a quarter moon, depending on how you look at it. It was in the middle of the sacred hoop. And when I looked up earlier, before I laid down, it was cloudy. And then my dog woke me up on poo, right? And I jumped out of bed and I went to look out the window and you could see the moon was setting. But it was funny, until I could see the moon, I didn't really feel the energy to come make the offering, so it's very interesting. All right, so we're going to go ahead and begin. This is a offering of Kemetic Devotion from Asmatashi Temple in honor of constellations in honor of planets being near Sirius, because I didn't want to just keep following the moon, and I didn't want to follow Egyptian calendars. I wanted to be closer to Sirius, because what does Sirius represent? The goddess Aset. So this is my way of being closer to her. So we're going to start with an offering for Anpu, opener of the ways. Oh, Anpu, opener of the ways. Oh, Anpu, opener of the ways. Remove obstacles to my success in my spiritual practice. Oh, Anpu, opener of the ways. Oh, Anpu, opener of the ways. Lead souls through the narrow pathways to know the difference between real and unreal. Oh, Anpu, opener of the ways. Oh, Anpu, opener of the ways. Message between heaven and hell. Days black as night, golden as a day. Weekly watch of by night is by day. Oh, Anpu, open the ways. Oh, Anpu, open the ways. May Anpu make my thighs burn, so that I may stand upon them. Oh, Anpu, open the ways. Oh, Anpu, open the ways. I wash myself in the water where Anpu washed himself, where he was the officer of embalmer and bandager. Oh, Anpu, open the ways. Oh, Anpu, open the ways. My lips are the lips of Anpu. 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 Yes, Anpu is the opener of the ways, removing obstacles. You may have seen images of Anpu where he has a mask or a headrest that looks like the dog, the great dog, which is the constellation that Sirius resides in. Sirius is Aset. And so we want to make that offering to Anpu just to make sure everything goes smoothly. And hopefully our audio is doing well. I have a feeling that Sister Nitra is in the house with all those likes. Thank you for sending the likes. Right. Now we're going to have the offering of the four great truths. I think I will read the translations first this time. As you can see, I finally am getting organized. I have everything in one book. Well, almost everything. All right, so where's the translation? And most of these translations came from Dr. Muada Ashby with Sema Institute Temple of Chatal Neter. And you can learn more about that at EgyptianYoga.com. So the first one is Panater Ua Ua Nebujerum Neteru. The Neter, the Supreme Being, is one and alone, and is Nebujer, manifesting everywhere and in all things in the form of gods and goddesses. Number 2, An Ma'at Sui Sayuset Se Kamen. Lack of righteousness brings fetters to the personality, and these fetters cause ignorance of the divine. Yeah, right there it has a formula for where what causes our egoism to come out. So lack of righteousness brings fetters to the personality. Fetters are the lower vibrations, characteristics of Set, and these fetters cause ignorance of the divine. Next we have Sewashu, Senapu, and Sai Set. Devotion to the divine leads to freedom from the fetters of Set. And last but not least, Arit Shedi Rek Abin Makaru. The practice of the Shade disciplines leads to knowing oneself as a divine. This is called being true of speech. Definitely an equation. You can follow it. Oops. On the odds, we saw you say, come in. Say what you say, not fool, inside you say. Adisha, you pick up in my girl. On the tattoo, and never shed him, the tattoo. On the odds, we saw you say, come in. Say what you say, not fool, inside you say. Adisha, you pick up in my girl. On the tattoo, and never shed him, the tattoo. On the odds, we saw you say, come in. Say what you say, not fool, inside you say. Adisha, back up in my bed. On the tattoo, I never shed him, the tattoo. On the odds, we saw you say, come in. Say what you say, not fool, inside you say. Adisha, back up in my bed. Do a tap. Uja, greetings to Asha Ma'at, tuning in on Instagram. All right. Got a little program here so I don't get confused. All right. This next one is a tune of devotion, a chant of devotion that's offered before, any readings from the Purdom Haru. Om Namaja Kapra Saro. 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 Yeah, so what is that chant? Om Nebuchadnezzar Capital Asar. Well, as mentioned in the Four Great Truths, Nebuchadnezzar is the all-encompassing divinity, the one great wise spirit that created all, the one that thinks the breath, the one that is responsible for this creation. And then Kepera is the cosmic force that Nebuchadnezzar used to create creation. And then Asar is the human form that Nebuchadnezzar took as the universal soul. So that's the originator, the creator, and the universal soul in one chant. Right. Well, thank you for tuning in. It's a very strange hour to be up and about. And here we are. Oh, looks like somebody there. Okay. Now we're going to have some music for Goddess Aset. As I mentioned before, she's the main reason that I'm doing these broadcasts at this time. Whenever a planet or the sun or the moon moves into the sacred hoop, then I'm going to be on here making devotion on offerings. So we will start with the speech of Goddess Aset. This time I'm going to offer it first and then do the translation. Yes, for those of you tuning in on TikTok, just keep tapping the screen. That lets people know that we're here. And you can always comment if you have any questions or special requests. fool. If they can make it too, you sure are okay. Wanting to move, looking all you can. Pretty okay. Daddy and I okay in the chair. Give to you can care. Care to tell you they might get you must say too. On it Mary Jane asked, I am so gay. Woman, I cannot fool. If they can make it too. And sure I okay. Wanting to move. Second I am gay. High tea up okay. Daddy and okay in the chair. Give to you can care. Care to every day. They might get you must say too. On it Mary Jane asked, I am so gay. Women I cannot fool. If they can make it too. And sure I okay. Wanting to move. Second I okay. High tea up okay. Daddy and okay in the chair. Give to you can care. Care to dedicate. Say my kedu. Care must say too. My dead. My dead. Wow, I was singing that song. I was thinking about. Let me read the translation first. That'll come into play. Put on my pinhole glasses. So again, this translation is from Dr. Marta Ashby. This one is from the book of The Myth of Ra and Aset, or Ra and Isis. These words are spoken by Goddess Aset. I come to you in a role as your protector. I blow from me to you the liberating and rejuvenating air from the north with fullness of consciousness, which cleanses your nose to the nostrils for your body. This air comes in the form of the god Temu, who is in the north, which is the spirit essence of Ra, the source and sustenance of all life, and the successful completion of the spiritual journey. I have collected the pieces of your throat for you so you can breathe and live. I pieced your throat back together and cleared obstructions to the air from the Temu that conveys the vital life force. So now you have the capacity to experience unobstructed vitality. Now you do not have internal obstructions to existing as a conscious living being. I have given to you the capacity to exist in the form of a God and in your presence. I present to you your enemies which have fallen under your feet. So now you do not have external obstructions to existing in your divine form. By doing these things, I, the goddess of intuitional wisdom the embodiment of wisdom, have caused for you to have a divine state in heaven, over which you have power and dominion, and all the gods and goddesses behold you. To Aset. Yeah, so like I was saying, while I was offering that chant, the speech of Aset, I was reflecting on the intense conversations I've been having online with people from Northeast Africa. Oh, thank you, Quizzy. Thank you. And how they're very angry when I make statements that the original inhabitants of Kemet were Black, and they're totally fixated on the amount of melanin, because we know that Blackness comes in many shades of Black, and there's hundreds, if not thousands, of probably more than thousands of artifacts and hieroglyphs and images etched in stone and drawn onto papyrus showing the original inhabitants of Kemet were Black. There were some that were very well melanated, where they actually were Black, and then all different colors of Black. And they're very angry when I say the Nubians were the original, the Nubians were the ancestors of Kemet, and Kemet was originally a colony. And I was thinking about how here in Turtle Island, same thing, people, quote unquote, Native Americans get angry when we mention that the first inhabitants of Turtle Island were Black. And so during this offering, I was visioning the sacred hoop, which is, like I said, it's like a ring of stars. I call it like a necklace, a jeweled necklace of stars for the creator. But I just visualize all the nations in a sacred hoop of stars, just all in oneness as humanity. Oh, it's a beautiful moment. Okay. Now we're going to have another song for our set. Since this is Cosmic Adorations, I feel free to talk about the stars. And right now we're in a period of Mercury retrograde in Sidereal Aries, and I will be doing that broadcast soon. It's been one thing after another since the eclipse. This next chant is from the wisdom of Goddess Aset. It's from the time when she was still a human, and she knew she wanted to have a higher life. She wanted another life beyond just human worldliness and time and space. And so she set out with this strategy to learn the true name of Ra, to know his essence, and to become like Ra. And she devised a plan where she made a sacred serpent, which she called the Tapi Shepsi, made out of spittle from the sun and dirt, from the land. And she put this snake in the path of Ra. He makes his journey across the sky, and it bit him. And since it was not a natural snake, he didn't have a remedy. And so while he's sitting here, like COVID symptoms, oh, I'm nauseous, I have fever, I can't breathe, I'm dying, and all the gods and goddesses are like, what's going on? What's going on? What's the matter? What's the matter? And they don't know. And she says, oh, well, I have the antidote, but you have to tell me your name, because when you know the name of something, then you know its essence. And he proceeded to tell her all these reasons why she didn't need to know the name. And she's like, well, you can die if you want to, but, just tell me your name and you can live. And so eventually he tells her the name, which means she unites with him and, becomes, knows the essence, and then becomes the essence of Ra. So the next several songs are going to from the teachings of that myth of Ra and Aset. Let's see. Let's read the translations first. I'm going to start with which is like from the first line of the myth. And it's referring to our dual divinity, how we have dual consciousness. We have consciousness here that deals with our physicality, and we have our higher consciousness. And there's many symbols of this. For instance, you've seen the caduceus with the dual snakes. Well, one snake represents Nebbit head, which is our physicality. The other one represents our set, our spirituality. And Seba Ma showed us this image. There's a fish that has eyes above the water and below the water. So the fish can see above and below the water at the same time. All right. So Neter Neterti, dual divinity, dual consciousness, who is creator of itself, creator of heaven and earth, and the life force that enlivens creation, the life-giving properties in air that allows the breath of life to sustain life, the fire that enlivens everything, possessing the two eyes of Ra and Heru, the moon and the sun, time and space, transcendental, relative, absolute, physical, and non-physical. So the first line is Neter Neterti, dual consciousness, and then absolute creativity. Neter Neterti, dual consciousness. Neter Neterti, dual consciousness. Neter Neterti, absolute creativity. Neter Neterti, absolute creativity. Neter Neterti, dual consciousness. Neter Neterti, dual consciousness. Neter Neterti, absolute creativity. Neter Neterti, absolute creativity. Neter Neterti, dual consciousness. Neter Neterti, dual consciousness. Neter Neterti, absolute creativity. Neter Neterti, absolute creativity. A tap. Yeah, that one. Some of these songs I'm going to be recording during the rest of this year, so they're not available except during these live streams. And some of them have not been released yet. They've been recorded, but they're on Bandcamp. So this is one of those. I believe it's on my Bandcamp page. This one, I could sing that one for a very long time and go into a trance. Okay. Oh. And then the next one, another one from the teachings of Aset, is called Made in the Shade. If you're on YouTube, can you let me know, does this how the audio is? I can see a couple of you on there. Just let me know. Last time I did a YouTube, it said it sounded robotic, and I haven't figured out why. So anyway, so this one's called Made in the Shade. Dr. Ashby Sebama said, if you can do these 4 things, you will have it made in the shade. So I'm going to read the translation first and then offer the chant. The first one is Antet Bagad, which is relentless pursuit of Nihast, enlightenment, meaning everything that you're doing is focused on, attaining enlightenment. The next one is Anken, which means unending. So the first one is relentless pursuit. You never give up. And then Anken means you never stop. Oh, thank you for letting me know that the audio is great. Thank you. Unending, it never stops. Like a bird is flying and it never stops to rest. It just is continually flying towards enlightenment. Seifu it means patience or endurance, even while sleeping. Oh, another clock. Even while sleeping, you're constantly, you're never giving up. You're always on the road to enlightenment. And then Majed means insisting with confidence and patience, perseverance, standing up and staying stood up, regardless of the circumstances. Oh, sounds simple, right? Then the next part is let it go, letting go, let it go, kakab. Kakab is the term from the Medu Neter for letting things go, detachment, dispassionate detachment. Let go of the world, let go of worldliness. And it doesn't mean stop eating or stop, working for money so you can buy things. It just means letting go of the attachment. You're letting go to the attachment of the outcome, and you're even letting go of the actions. This song, these teachings is one reason why I changed my whole schedule for making offerings live, because I would, I'd choose the date and the time and set out the announcement, and then something in life would come up, like the day of, and I would go through all this stress trying to make the offering at the time that I said I would. And so now I just know the date of the celestial event, and then I have a window to make the offering, and I don't announce it ahead of time because things come up. So I took away like 99% of stress in my life because I was so attached to the process and I was attached to the outcome. And my spiritual teachers were trying to get me to see this. But at the time, I was so fixated on doing my best and being on time and doing, my word. And I realized that I have my own clock, and all I can do is go by that, my natural time. Then the next one is, the story I shared earlier about how Aset devised a strategy to become one with Ra and know his name and become his essence. Jedina Renake, tell me your name. Tell me your divine name. What is your essence? In the Western world, the scientists feel like just because they find something and give it a Latin name or name it, that they discover it. I don't know why they have that idea, but in the Netarian tradition, in Kemetic science, the name is the essence. And so you don't just want to know the name of a person, you want to know their essence. You want to know their meaning. You want to know their truths, what they stand for, because we're all one. And so when we get to know others, we're getting to know ourselves better. That was my own reflection. And then the final step, number 4, is uhau, trust, surrender, trust the process, trust your journey, trust your higher self, surrender to your higher self. It doesn't mean surrender to another person, place, or thing. It means surrender to your intuition, to your higher self. Remember, Aset is the goddess of intuition and divine wisdom. So in essence, we're surrendering to our intuition, to Goddess Aset. This song I have yet to learn on the harp. I wrote it on the piano with Afro-Cuban motundos and the percussion, like 5 percussionists, bass player, blazing horn section. So I'm just playing it on the drums now. But one of these days, that whole, you're probably wondering, why is she talking about Afro-Cuban music with some of the highest wisdom from ancient Kemet? The last time I was there, I was there when COVID broke out. And the message that I got was, now it's time to go back to my original research project, and that is the knowledge of Kemet and Turtle Island coming from the same source, all the pyramid cultures around the world. But my specialty is the ones from Turtle Island and Kemet. And I feel that the wisdom teachings are expressing the same science, just in different locations and different times. There's a book, When Rocks Cry Out, by Horace Butler, where he goes into this in detail. He has maps and all kind of information. And for a while, that was my passion, was traveling to these places and looking for proof of ancient Kemet. And I did. I found lots. And I've been looking forward to going back. In a previous lifetime, I was a astronomy graduate student, a galactic astronomer, and then cultural astronomy, when I learned how the astronomy and astrology, the culture of Kemet and Maya, the Olmecs. And then instead of studying it, I lived it for like 20 years. And now it's time to study, go back to the Olmec studies and see how they correspond to the Kemetic studies, because I spent like 12 years in Kemet. I take the God and Anken and Sefu and Majet. I take the God and Anken and Sefu and Majet. Let it go, letting go, let it go, cat. Letting go, letting go, let it go, cat. Let it go, letting go, let it go, cat. Let it go, let it go, let it go, cat. Jedina Renake. Jedina Renake. Jedina Renake. Jedina Renake. Ooh, how, ooh, how. Ooh, how, ooh, how. Ooh, how, ooh, how. Ooh, how, ooh, how. I'll take the God in Anken in Sefu in Majet. I'll take the God in Anken in Sefu in Majet. Letting go, let it go, letting go, cat. it go, letting go, let it go, cat gap. Letting go, let it go, let it go, cat gap. Letting go, letting go, let it go, cat gap. Okay. Do I set? Yes, if you get the opportunity to study that book, do I have it here? I might have it here. I don't know if I can get to it without knocking everything down. But she lays out a plan, a strategy, a protocol, the same steps that she took. She laid them out. She left them for us so that we could also make that transformation from human to God or goddess. And I still have a long way to go, but I've definitely, since I was, studying these teachings, I've definitely felt a shift in myself and my life. Right now, I'm working more on the nebbit, the physicality, getting things, more tight, more lined up for my sustenance. So it's, finding that balance between the spiritual and physical. But following this guidance from Aset, which is really basically tuning into your intuition, is number one. It's the best. All right. I think that's good for Aset for tonight. These songs. What is next in the sacred hoop? So for those of you who are just tuning in, tonight's presentation of Cosmic Adorations is an offering from Asmajishi Temple. Whenever a planet or the moon or the sun moves into the constellations that make up the sacred hoop. I don't have it in the background today. But those are the constellations of Gemini, Canis Major, and Orion. And Canis Major is the great dog, which we offered at the beginning, Anpu, the god of discernment. And then Aset is the star Sirius, who's the eye of the dog. So it all, ties together. And earlier today, the moon was a half moon. If you saw the moon, it was inside of the sacred hoop. And I missed it. I laid down to take a nap because the sky was cloudy and I couldn't see it. And then my dog woke me up, right? Anpu woke me up just in time to see it setting. And earlier I didn't feel the calling to come do the presentation because I guess I couldn't see the moon. And as soon as I saw the moon, I was like, okay, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to do this anyway, make this offering. So that's why it's an unusual hour. Okay. So now we're going to have a chant for Asar. Let's do this one. I have it in my notebook. Yeah. Okay. Got a couple for Asar. Let's put this right here. So much easier now that I've got things organized. It's very nice. I don't know where the translation is. It's over there. Do us our I'm just gonna stick to my regular rhythm. This is my rhythm for everything. Du asar univernetra herababu sutin hey nerjeta sebeti hey du asar univernetra du asar univernetra du asar imha'ef sadef in God's boot booted in yeah our pet nip do asar univernetra do asar univernetra do asar uratai editi neteruim peg do asar univernetra do asar univernetra glory to asar unefer glory to asar unefer glory to asar unefer glory to asar the great God within us glory glory to asar the great God within us. Gotcha. I'm gonna run and get the translation. I know where it is. I'll be right back. Okay, here we go. It's like a maze getting back in here. Greetings, Chakra Khan joined. Oh, Chaka Khan joined. Chaka Khan. Oh, I got it. Chaka Khan. Another way to spell Chaka Khan. Okay. All right. So the translation to the first part is found in this copy of the Purdah Maru. It's one of the prayers offered before reading from the Purdah Maru. And it's included in the one I offered at the beginning, Never Keppra Sa'o. Translation. Adorations to Asar Unifer, divinity great, presiding personality in the heart of Abdu, king of eternity, Lord of forever, traveling for eternities, in form raised he, son primary of body of Nut, engendered by Geb, master lord of the Uraret crown, exalted white crown, prince of gods and goddesses and people. And remember, Asar is represented by Orion in the sacred hoop, and Orion has 3 stars in the middle, and then he has 3 stars pointing down, which represents a knife. And it says that those 3 stars point to Sirius, to goddess Aset, saying that he's always watching over Aset. But when you look at the constellations, it looks like Aset always has the back of Asar. Like if you look in the hieroglyphs, Aset is standing behind Asar. So I guess it depends on how you look at it. Okay. And we have let's see how much time we have. Okay, I'm gonna do another song for Asar. This song is inspired by the Sima Pout, the yoga posture system from EgyptianYoga.com. And the very last posture, my goodness. The very last posture is the one for Asar, the mummy. And at the very end of that reflection, it says, "May you be enlightened in peace for eternity." And so that's what this Hekau means. May you be enlightened in peace for eternity. Niyasenatep, 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 Unshen. Niyasenatep, 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 Anken. Niyasenatep, 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 Unshen. Niyasenatep, 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 Anken. Nukasar. 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 Niyasenatep, 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 Unshen. Niyasenatep, 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 Anken. Niyasenatep, 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 Unshen. Niyasenatep, 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 Anken. Nukasar. 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 Niyasenatep, Unshen. Niyasenatep, Anken. May you be enlightened in peace for eternity. May you be enlightened in peace without ending. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the hearts. All right. Now we move to the section for Jehuti. Jehuti is the third constellation in the sacred hoop, symbolized by Gemini. In the Mayan tradition, Gemini represents the basketball court. In the Western tradition, it's the twins. In the Kemetic tradition, it's the lovers, not the twins. So I'm just going to go to my favorite Jehuti song. I'll show you the artwork. This is probably one of my favorites. Oops, it is one of my favorites. You see the, this is from Say by Ma's work. This is from the book of the Temple of the Soul, the book about the Temple of Asar. So, Nuk a Jehuti. Nuk means I am. I am Jehuti. Ma'at Zebi Ma'at. Ma'at has effectiveness and expresses through me. Nuk a, and then Nuk a Jehuti. Ra Neb Im Neferu. Daily I express beauty and goodness without fail. Perennially I experience well-being and positive feeling. And here's a symbol, image of Jehuti writing something out. And there's another passage where we're instructed to give our ink pen and our paper, our papyrus to Jehuti. Turn over your keyboards and your cell phones to Jehuti so that he's writing out your thoughts. He's the one that chooses your thoughts. He's the one that creates your to-do list so that you're not, working on the to-do list of your ego upset. You want to be working with Jehuti, expressing the cosmic mind of creation. That's too fast. Good job. All right. Ooh. Good rising. 1 minute. Exactly. Oh, I guess Instagram's going to shut me down. Okay, let's see if I can get this going. Well, I'll just start another one. It's okay. 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 Are you there? Okay, I'm just going to have to switch it to sideways because, okay, there we go. All right. All right, so that's my favorite song for Jehuti. And now we're going to move to Goddess Shasheta. In this system, Shasheta represents the moon. So Shasheta is in the constellation of Sidereal Gemini and inside the sacred hoop. So we're going to do some songs for Shasheta. And I don't think you can see it, but I have a little altar over here. I have this beautiful ibis I got at El Minya, which is the location of Jehuti's temple. And that place is amazing. It's underground it's a catacombs. I think they said there's like 4,000 roads underground. It's an entire village underground dedicated to Jehuti. Oh, start another one. Just a minute, I'm going to start another one. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to start another one. Oh. Oops. Adorations. All right. Oh. Okay. Yeah, so like I was saying, it's an underground city with thousands of roads, and there's little places where people would make offerings to Jehuti. There's even a baboon there that's like, who knows how else. It's a mummified baboon, and then there's a place where you can go in and they have baboons that have just been offered there. I don't know if they like sacrificed them or they just brought them there. I don't know. Um, but it was amazing to be underground, and there's like a whole city underground, this catacombs and offerings to Jehuti in Armenia. It's not a very, it's not one of the more popular tourist stops, but I really had a wonderful experience there, and I look forward to going there again. So this was the ibis that I got in Armenia for Jehuti. And then for Shasheta, I have a papyrus flower, because she's symbolized with the papyrus flower on her head, and you have rulers and pens and markers because she's the cosmic scribe. Yeah. And I even have some papyrus. I have this, you can order it. I got this at Etsy, or little sheets of papyrus paper and this little envelope that has the alphabet on it. So these are items from my altar for Shasheta. So I have a couple of songs for Shasheta. This one is for Shasheta and the goddess Nut, because they're both dealing with the sky. Some water. I so appreciate you staying on with me tonight. In this tradition at Asmataji Temple, the day doesn't start until sunrise. So even though it's 4 o'clock, it's 4 hours after midnight, not 4 hours, 4 o'clock in the morning. It's 4 hours after midnight. I learned this from Master Naba with the Earth Center, which has the traditions from Mali, the Dogon. They have the Sirius sidereal calendar, which I follow that. I follow mostly the solar sidereal calendar. It's all about Sirius in my book. Nukunuk Susheta. Nukunuk Nu. Nukunuk Susheta. Nukunuk Nu. I am the goddess of math and sciences. I am the cosmic scribe. Keep things in celestial order. I can help you keep order in your life. I wear the sacred papyrus on my head. I built the house of Asar. To Jehuti I gave the nectar. I am the goddess of the Sephic Bara. Nukunuk Susheta. I am the source of sacred darkness. I am the jeweled night sky. I'm in love with your Father Earth. I gave birth to the light. The stars make up my body. I nurse you with the Milky Way. I am the tree of life. I watch you come forth by Hotel. You may or may not know about my special connection to the stars. Originally I was going to be first Black astronaut, and now I am here singing songs about the stars. Life has such surprises for us. All right, I'll put this one back. Oh, that goes up here. Yeah, okay. All right, I got two more songs for Chet. Oh my goodness, this alarm is just, oh my goodness. Sorry about that. That alarm is just keeps going off. Okay, this is a nice one. This one is about several goddesses, not just Shasheta. Oh, Papa Jay's here. Hello, Brother Craig. This is a good one for it's about order in your life. Oh wait, I wanted to say a few things about that Shasheta song. Hold on. So the goddess Shasheta is the goddess of math, science, astrology, astronomy, sacred geometry, architecture, record keeping, filing, just anything dealing with writing. She's a cosmic scribe. It's said that she's the one that taught the Medunetter Chijiuti. She's the one that keeps up with all of his writings. And I call on her when I'm dealing with paperwork or bookkeeping or, promotions. And then the goddess Nut, I'm sure you've seen the arch of goddess Nut with her stars on the body. She represents the Milky Way or the whole, night sky. And that's what I wanted to say. She's known as the tree of life in the Kemetic tradition, and also because that's the Milky Way galaxy. And then in the Mayan tradition, the Milky Way galaxy is also called the tree of life. That's what I wanted to bring out. So in those two traditions, the Milky Way is called the tree of life. All right, so this one is about order. Let's see. Oh, it's a sistrum song. Right, the sistrum is the instrument that dispels chaos. Order in my order in my space, order in my mind. Order in my mind, order in my day. Order in my day, order in my life. Order in my life, order in my space. Nuku never head. Order in my space. Nuku Sasheta. Order in my mind. Nuku Seknet. Order in my day. Nukuma. Order in my life. Order in my space. Order in my mind. Order in my mind. Order in my day. Order in my day. Order in my life. Order in my life, order in my space. Nuku never head. Order in my space. Nuku Sasheta. Order in my mind. Nuku Seknet. Order in my day. Nukuma. Order in my life. So, of course, Neverhead is the lady of the house. Sasheta is the cosmic scribe, helps me keep track of all my things in my mind, all things I want to do, all things that need to be done. See, I learned another affirmation. I'm grateful that I know all that I need to know and all that I need to do. I know all that I need to know and I know all that I need to do. And then Sekhmet. Why is Sekhmet order in my day? Sekhmet is order in my day because when I get involved in a task, like I've been working on my social media campaigns for like too many hours or an hour or whatever time, Sekhmet comes up and says, okay, time to move to the next thing. Because I like to sit and work on it until it's finished. And sometimes you have to stop and move on to the next thing. And that is why I tend to be late, because I'm working on something and it's just like, oh, I'm almost done. I'm almost done. I'm almost done. And then I look up and, So I call on Sekhmet to help me keep order in my day. And then, of course, Ma'at is divine right order. Okay, the last song for Jehuti and Sasheta. I don't know if I can play it on this harp. I've never played it on the harp. Let's see if I can. No, that's not gonna work. guess I could use the same thing as I did before. That's probably easiest. That's easy. Do what you hootie. Do what you hootie. Do what you hootie. Do what you hootie. Nah, that's not coming. I'll just play the drum. Sometimes the melody comes through right away. Let's try. I like improvising. When I used to do the ancient African adorations, which I really enjoy doing, I hope to bring that back. I would follow the Egyptian calendar, the ancient Egyptian calendar, and then I would look up all the wisdom teachings for that particular holiday, and then I would write the music right live. So I hope to get back to that when I'm more organized. A little slower. Do what you hootie. 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 Nipusasheta. 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 Nipu sasheta. Nipu sasheta. Do what you hootie. 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 Do us a shatter. Do us a shatter. Do us a shatter. Do us a shatter. Do what the shatter. Do what the shatter. Look what you hootie. Look what you hootie. Look what you hootie. Look what you hootie. Look hootie. Look hootie. Look what's a shatter. Look what's a shatter. Look what's a shatter. Look what's a shatter. Look sasheta. Look sasheta. Look what you hootie. Look what you hootie. Look what you hootie. Look what you hootie. Look hootie. Look hootie. Do us a shatter. Do us a shatter. Do us a shatter. Do us a shatter. Do the shatter. Do the shatter. That's it. All right, so we have covered the adorations for the sacred hoop. We started with Aset, which is Sirius. We actually started with Anpu, the great dog, Sirius, Aset. And we did Asar, which is Orion. And then we did Gemini, which corresponds to Jehuti. And then we did Sasheta, which corresponds to the moon that was within the sacred hoop tonight and last night, moved in last night. It might still be there tomorrow night. I don't know. Tomorrow night, look at the moon, and it'll either be inside the sacred hoop or it'll appear to the left of the sacred hoop, already moved into Sidereal Cancer. All right. And for those of you just tuning in, we have been on live with Cosmic Adorations, honoring the constellations within the sacred hoop, the constellations that make up the sacred hoop, and different planets or the sun or the moon when they're located within the sacred hoop. And it actually looks like the symbol for the mouth, the Medu symbol for which symbolizes consciousness. We're at our closing time, so I'm going to close with the Pouchy Necharu. Well, I always say I want to do an improv, so let's have an improv. I don't know what this is. It's going to be an improvisational offering. We'll close with that. I know what it is. I'm going to do an offering for the celestial ancestors of the cosmic hoop, sacred hoop.
Awesome.
Well, thank you for spending this time with me tonight. Those of you who tuned in live and those of you watching the replay. This was the April edition of Cosmic Adorations, where we honor and adore, worship, study, become one with the cosmic forces that make up the sacred hoop. I learned about the sacred hoop from the Lakota tradition. It's the constellations of the Great Dog, Canis Major with Sirius, which represents Anpu and Aset. Orion, symbolizing Asar, and Gemini, representing Jehuti. And I started doing these offerings when planets or the sun or the moon are in the sacred hoop. And then on the opposite side, when they are in the constellation of Ophiuchus, we have a wellness conversation. So on one side, we have the sacred hoop, and the other side, we have Ophiuchus, and we're in the middle. And, that has so many symbolism behind that. To me, it's some sort of broadcast of these galactic offerings. When we're looking towards the sacred hoop, we're looking towards the outer edge of our Milky Way. Remember, that's the tree of life. It's also called the Great River by the Quechua in Peru. And then when you're looking towards the Ophiuchus, you're looking towards the center of the Milky Way. These broadcasts are bringing out the wisdom teachings of ancient Kemet. However, one of the objectives of these broadcasts, these offerings and transmissions, is to eventually bring a connection between Kemet and Turtle Island, because it's my feeling, belief, intuition, and guidance that they're representing one culture in two different locations. If you look at the map, you can see where Africa, West Africa, at one point fit in to that gulf caused by the Yucatan, and that the continents were once connected. Even Europe and Asia on the eastern side were connected to Africa. It was one continent, one people, one culture, and then when the continent split up, the people and the cultures were split. And so my guidance is to bring back the oneness between Kemet and Turtle Island. That's why you'll hear me talking about them. And as time goes on, I shall be bringing forth teachings from the Olmec and the Toltec, which are the original of the Maya. I've traveled to Brazil and found evidence of ancient Kemet in Brazil. And I've traveled to Peru and Ecuador and Belize. And in the coming years, I will continue my research and sharing the wisdom teachings through music and sound. So I thank you for tuning in to this presentation from Osmataji Temple. If you tuned in at the end, you'll be able to find the replay on YouTube. I'll also post clips from this segment on your favorite social media platform. If you want more information on the music, visit tachia.com. For more information on the sound healing and astrology, visit lightbeingwellness.com. Thank you so much. Atep. And you can also make donations to the temple. Cash App, Amet El Ma'at. Thank you. I don't know what I did here, but thank you for